When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Welcome to From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career, and hosted by Work Defined. Join our AI co-hosts as they dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Let's get your career started.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you're juggling classes right now, doing those late-night study sessions, and maybe feeling that little bit of panic, like, I really need to figure out my next career step.
Yeah.
Well, you know how overwhelming it can get. The whole internship world can feel huge, right? Like this giant ocean, endless job boards, and you're always kind of worried you're missing out on the perfect thing. It almost feels like everyone else has this secret map, and you're just, trying to find your way with a maybe broken compass and probably not enough coffee. Well, you're definitely in the right place. This deep dive is put together specifically for you, the student, the learner, trying to navigate this, let's face it, often confusing landscape. Our mission today, as we help you on that journey from dorms to desks, is to really unpack the timing for internship applications. We're talking the make or break months, those strategic windows you might not even know exist. And we'll get into the latest strategies. What are students doing? What are employers doing? We want to help you navigate the whole process effectively and, maximize your chances. And to help us figure this all out, we've pulled insights from some really great sources. We're looking at advice from career advisors at One Aggie Network, some really honest discussions on Reddit from C's Majors.
Yeah, those Reddit threads can be gold mines for real-world experience.
Totally. Plus detailed guides for mergers and acquisitions, especially good for finance, and then some deep analysis from College Recruiter and Ripple Match.
Right, covering a whole range of fields, from finance to customer service, so it's a pretty broad perspective.
Exactly. This is basically your shortcut to getting up to speed.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive in. This whole idea of a hidden calendar for internships, It really feels true, doesn't it? Like, if you don't know the dates, you're already playing catch-up.
It does, and it's not just about, applying whenever you happen to have a free afternoon.
Right. It's more strategic.
Definitely. Our sources show there are very specific times that are just way more critical than others. It's like knowing the currents in that ocean you mentioned.
So what are these key moments, these inflection points?
Well, what's really striking is how clearly the data points to certain months. It's not random. It's about aligning your efforts with these established and often pretty fast-moving recruitment cycles. Understanding these cycles gives you a huge strategic advantage. It's like knowing when the tide is coming in, basically.
Okay, so let's talk about the biggest wave then. When we look at critical timing, 1 month just keeps popping up as the absolute sweet spot. That's September, right?
September, yeah. It's highlighted again and again. Our sources actually call it the make or break month across a whole bunch of different industries.
Make or break. Wow.
Yeah, and the Ripple Match data backs this up. September is the busiest month for recruitment events, like career fairs, info sessions, like 26% of all events for the year happen then.
26%. Just in September?
Just in September. And that intense activity kind of sets the stage for October, which often becomes the peak month for actual applications.
Okay. So there's this sequence. Employers show up in force in September, lots of events, then students react and apply like crazy in October.
Precisely. September is what one source called the real new year on campus. That's when the momentum really builds. So let's dig into why September is so important, both for you, the student, and for the employers.
Okay.
From the student side, think about it. You're back on campus, you're kind of settling in, but you're not totally swamped yet with midterms or a huge project.
Right, your schedule isn't completely insane yet.
Exactly. Your calendar isn't that Tetris wall of commitments. You actually have evenings free for info sessions, maybe some initial interviews. So this early window lets you engage properly without that frantic feeling you get later in the semester. Your applications get your full attention.
That makes a lot of sense. You actually have the mental bandwidth to focus on it. But, is there a risk? Like applying too early, before you really figure things out or polish your skills, could that backfire?
That's a really sharp question. And yeah, clarity in your application is always good. But, employers recruiting in September often know they're talking to students who are still learning. They're often looking for enthusiasm, adaptability, that potential. So the risk of being too early isn't huge if you've done some thinking.
Okay.
What's maybe more critical is that employers are super proactive then. Big companies, finance, consulting, aerospace, tech, they open their applications late August right through September.
So they're trying to get ahead of the game, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They front-load career fairs. They do targeted events for specific majors. They want to make their presence known early and, frankly, grab the top talent before everyone else does.
So is this mutual advantage, early bird gets the worm kind of thing? And for employers, there's a money aspect too, right? It lines up with their budgets.
Oh, definitely. That's a huge piece of it, especially in fields like finance. September lines up perfectly with their internal financial planning cycles. Think about it. New budgets often get finalized after mid-year reviews. So the money is actually there for campus events, sponsorships, intern stipends.
Okay, so the timing isn't just about finding people. It's about having the budget approved to hire those people.
Exactly. They're doing their Q4 budget planning, their year-end financial modeling that directly impacts how many interns they plan to bring on. And many finance firms, they need new people starting in January, right? So they have to recruit 3 months ahead.
Right, that lead time is crucial.
So if you're targeting finance and apply in September, your application lands just when managers are thinking about resources, actively budgeting for new talent, not later when maybe the funds have been allocated elsewhere.
Wow, that's such a critical insight. It's not just about applying. It's about applying when they're actively planning and spending. And this isn't just finance, you said. Customer service, too. That seems kind of different.
It does seem different, but the timing logic holds. For customer service, September marks the start of prepping for the really busy season's Think festivals, and especially the holiday rush later in the year. Customer inquiries just surge.
Ah, okay. So they need to ramp up staffing before things get crazy.
Precisely. So interns hired in September get trained during these peak times. One employer, Dwij, actually found their interns performed 47% better if they joined during these busier months compared to slower ones.
47%. That's huge.
Yeah.
Because they're learning under pressure.
Exactly. They're thrown into real customer interactions immediately. They develop better product knowledge, better communication skills, all while things were actually happening. Another company, HelloPrint, mentioned their September interns were handling live chats on their own by November. That frees up their senior staff.
Makes sense.
And it also lets companies use data from the summer customer complaints issues to create really practical training. So interns are learning from recent real problems, not just theory. It's very immersive.
So, okay, whether it's high-stakes finance or fast-paced customer service, September gives everyone that first mover advantage. Employers get top talent. Students get roles before the crush.
Right. And our sources really emphasize that being proactive shows initiative. Employers love that.
It contrasts with October, which one source called the month, where the attention tax goes up.
Yeah, if you wait until October, you're just one of many. The whole process slows down. Recruiters are swamped.
Okay, so building on that, September is clearly a major landmark on this internship map. But what if you miss it? What if life happens, or you just weren't ready? Are you totally out of the game?
No, definitely not. That's really important to stress. Missing that first big wave doesn't mean the journey's over. It just means you need to look at other strategic points on the map.
Okay, that's a relief. So there are other chances.
Absolutely. And one really crucial but maybe underestimated period is winter break. Our sources, like the One Aggie Network, point this out. It's a time when there's that break in schoolwork and classes.
Ah, the downtime.
Okay. Yeah, it's valuable time for career development precisely because you have that break.
So winter break is like a second chance. Or maybe even like a secret weapon for students who feel like they started late.
It really can be. Think about it with lighter coursework, or maybe none at all. You can actually focus on your internship search without the constant pressure of deadlines and exams.
Yeah, you could dedicate real time to it.
Exactly. And many employers are already hiring for summer internships during winter break. You'll see postings go up on Handshake, on LinkedIn. So it's an ideal time to apply when your academic plate isn't overflowing. Imagine spending a few hours each day polishing applications instead of trying to squeeze it in between lectures.
Okay, so it's not just about catching up, but potentially getting ahead for the summer rush. Mm-hmm. And it's not just applying, right? It's a good time to update your material.
Oh, absolutely essential. During the fall, you've likely worked on new projects, maybe got involved in clubs, had a part-time job. All those things add new skills and experiences.
Right, things you didn't have on your resume back in September.
Exactly. So winter break is perfect for reflecting on those achievements and updating your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your Handshake profile, making sure they really show off what you've learned and done recently.
Are there specific resources for that?
Yeah, most university career centers offer tons of help. Resume examples, guides on writing strong accomplishment statements, showing impact. They often have checklists for LinkedIn and Handshake profiles, too. It's a chance to really polish your personal brand.
And networking. That always feels daunting during the semester.
It does. But winter break can make it feel less scary. You're often connecting with family and friends anyway. Those are great starting points. Talk to them, talk to peers.
Start with the familiar faces. Yeah.
Right. And once your LinkedIn is updated, you can use the break to reach out more strategically. Connect with professionals, alumni, and fields you're interested in. You could even do some informational interviews. Just reach out, ask for 15-20 minutes to learn about their career path, get advice. Places like the UC Davis Career Center have tips on how to introduce yourself, what questions to ask. It's about building genuine connections.
Okay, so this downtime really is a bit of a secret weapon then. You can refine applications, network more effectively. It's a chance to regroup and maybe even get ahead.
Totally. Imagine using that time to, say, build a small portfolio piece related to your field. You come back from break not just rested, but with something new and tangible to show employers.
That's a great point, making the most of the quiet time.
Yeah.
Okay, so winter break is for strategic prep. What about spring internships? How do they fit in? Are they just like less popular summer internships?
Not exactly. Spring internships offer something quite unique. Early access to the world of work and professional growth, often with significantly less competition compared to the summer surge.
Less competition is always good.
Definitely. And the real insight here isn't just that they exist, but they can act as an early career accelerator. Because there are fewer applicants, you often get way more mentorship and, importantly, more project ownership.
Ah, so you might actually get to do more significant stuff.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
You might leapfrog your peers in terms of real professional development because you're getting more personalized attention and responsibility. Spring internships typically run, say, January through May.
Okay, so that makes sense as a strategic advantage. Reduced competition means more one-on-one guidance from supervisors. That sounds invaluable.
It really can be. That tailored learning experience can be huge. Plus, you're building your professional network months before most students even start their summer internships. You're getting a foot in the door early.
And the smaller intern groups, the cohorts, mean more significant projects.
Often, yeah. Imagine being a key player on a smaller team, making a real contribution, versus being one of, say, 50 summer interns. That accelerated learning curve boosts your skills, your confidence, and gives you great stories for future interviews.
And these aren't just throwaway experiences, right? They can lead to other things.
Absolutely. Employers often see interning during the school year as a sign of real dedication and initiative. It's a strong, positive signal.
So it could lead to a summer offer, or even full-time down the line.
It definitely can. You've already proven you can handle the work and fit into the culture. It's a lower risk way for both the student and the employer to kind of test the waters.
And the timing works well for some students too.
Yeah, that's another plus. If you need to take summer classes or you have travel plans, a spring internship fits neatly between academic terms. It offers flexibility.
And what kinds of spring internships are out there? Is it just part-time stuff?
Oh, it's really diverse. You'll find part-time roles, sure, which are great for balancing with classes, but also full-time ones for a more immersive dive. Remote options offer flexibility, while in-person gives you that tangible office experience. And startups often rely heavily on spring interns. That can be amazing exposure to innovation and, that fast-paced environment.
What about industries? Is it just tech and startups?
Not at all. Finance, tech, nonprofits, marketing, public service, environmental science. The range is really broad. Think about it. A finance intern analyzing market data, a tech intern debugging code, a marketing intern brainstorming campaigns, all while still in school. You're honing skills, learning workplace etiquette, getting a much clearer vision for your career.
Right, applying the theory in the real world. Okay, that makes spring sound pretty compelling. But what if you miss that window too? Or if you're in a field like, say, investment banking, where things are hyper-competitive? Is there another path?
There is, and that brings us to off-cycle internships. These are less conventional, maybe less known, but they can be really valuable detours on your journey.
Off-cycle. Okay, what does that actually mean?
Well, in investment banking, for example, it typically means working for 3 to 6 months outside the traditional summer period. So fall, winter, spring, maybe even right after graduation. And the recruiting process for these can be less structured. It feels a bit like finding a hidden trail on that map we keep talking about.
Okay, let's unpack that because off-cycle can mean a few different things, can't it?
It can. Our sources break it down. It might just be a standard internship with different timing because a university is on a trimester system or has other non-standard dates. Pretty straightforward.
Whoa.
Or it could be a really informal, maybe even unadvertised part-time role at a boutique firm.
Boutique firm meaning?
Smaller, specialized financial advisory or consulting firms, not the huge global banks like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan. These boutique roles might be something you do during your first or second year of university. Then, in continental Europe, a standard off-cycle internship might actually be 6 months long. It's often a requirement for getting a full-time offer in places like France or Germany.
Interesting. 6 months.
Yeah, and the large banks also offer 3 to 6 month non-summer roles. Again, more common in Europe than the US. Sometimes they call them winter or spring internships, but they're distinct from the academic year spring internships we just discussed.
Got it.
Remember that feeling the first day of school, looking for your table in the cafeteria? Do you know anybody? Where are you supposed to sit? You don't know, but you definitely feel like there's toilet paper on the bottom of your shoe. Ugh, this is the worst. Well, you know what they say, high school never ends. I'm Anna Morgan, former corporate recruiter turned entrepreneur, and I know the workforce can feel just as complicated and cliquey as high school. Trust me, I've been there. The layoffs, the imposter syndrome, the what the hell am I doing moments at 3 a.m. It all brought one point into focus. We all deserve a place to belong and learn. So I started this podcast just for us. Welcome to your Career BFF podcast, a place where everyone has a seat at the table, complete with masterclasses, no BS advice, and candid conversations with some of my favorite people. It's the Breakfast Club meets the boardroom. So whether you're the rebel challenging the status quo, the brain strategizing your next move, or the quiet wizard making magic behind the scenes, you have a seat. So grab your backpack, find your spot, and get ready to learn, laugh, and lead together. Because in this classroom, everyone's got a BFF. Class starts soon. See you there. Bye.
So who are these off-cycle internships really for? Are they just a backup plan?
They're best seen as a strategic supplement or maybe a way to fill a gap. They're ideal if, say, you didn't get a summer internship after your first year, or maybe your last internship wasn't really relevant to where you want to go now. Also good if you graduated with limited experience or maybe have lower grades or come from a university that isn't heavily recruited by the big firms, a non-target school.
So it's an alternative entry point.
Exactly. It can potentially boost your chances for a traditional summer role later, or if you're taking a gap year or just have unusual timing constraints, they fit perfectly. One source compared them to vitamin D supplements, useful if you're deficient, but maybe not essential if you're already getting enough sun through the traditional routes.
Huh. I like that analogy. Okay, so it's strategic. What about actually getting one? Is the recruiting process different, more intense, less intense?
It definitely varies. For those boutique firms, the recruiting tends to be less rigorous. Interviews might be more qualitative, focusing on your personality, your willingness to learn, your potential to help with admin tasks rather than deep technical grilling.
Okay.
But finding those roles often takes more proactive networking. Cold emailing, digging around for unadvertised opportunities.
Right, because they might not be formally posted.
Exactly. On the flip side, if a large bank is offering an off-cycle role, especially in Europe, expect the same tough process as their summer internships. Online tests, multiple rounds of behavioral and technical interviews.
Okay, good to know. And what about the actual internship? Is the work different?
Surprisingly, the intensity can sometimes be higher during off-cycle periods at the big banks.
Higher? Why is that?
Fewer interns around means more work per intern. Plus, there's often more actual deal activity happening outside the summer months, especially in Europe when lots of senior people take August off. So you could end up getting even more hands-on experience really thrown into the deep end.
Interesting. But are there downsides, like pay or future prospects?
Yeah, that's a crucial point. At boutiques, these off-cycle roles are often unpaid, or pay significantly less than at large banks, and the chances of getting a full-time return offer can be lower. especially at boutiques or even at big banks if you're outside their main hiring pipeline for summer analysts converting to full-time.
So you need to be careful.
Definitely. Be wary of firms known for having endless off-cycle internships, but never actually hiring those interns full-time.
Yeah.
Always ask about the potential for conversion, what the firm's track record is.
Good advice. So major banks like JPM, UBS, Goldman Sachs, they do offer these, as do many boutiques, but you got to go in with your eyes open and be strategic.
Exactly. It's about understanding the nuances.
Okay, so understanding all these different timelines and employer strategies is clearly key for students, which leads us perfectly into what are employers actually doing now? How are they changing their playbook?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. It's not just students adapting. Employers are constantly evolving their strategies, too.
Our sources show a pretty clear shift in how companies are thinking about internships, moving beyond just, glancing at a resume.
The big picture here is that employers get it. A strong internship program is their pipeline for future talent. It's not just about getting an extra pair of hands for a few months.
Right.
They're investing in more structured, more skills-focused ways to identify real potential, not just looking at past achievements on paper. They're trying to spot those hidden gems.
That feels like a really significant change. And honestly, great news for students who maybe don't have a long list of traditional jobs yet.
It is. Our sources confirm it. Many employers are moving away from relying solely on resumes, especially for interns who, let's face it, often haven't held a full-time job before. One employer put it bluntly, resumes reveal almost nothing meaningful about a population who have never held a full-time job.
Wow. Okay. That really challenges the old way of just screening by GPA and keywords.
It does. And what's fascinating is this shift towards prioritizing potential and practicality. Companies are saying they value personality, eagerness to learn, a genuine interest in growing with the company, sometimes more than a perfect resume.
Really? Personality over perfection?
According to sources like CC Creative Design, yeah. They find it leads to better cultural fit, faster adaptation. It's about finding people who are adaptable, enthusiastic, who can learn quickly and fit the team, not just someone who looks good on paper.
And this isn't just about feelings, right? It's leading to more objective ways to assess people.
Definitely. Employers are using more skills-based assessments, practical tasks, real-world problems, short work samples, things that actually show what a candidate can do. This gives everyone a fairer shot, regardless of their background, and helps find those hidden gems, as places like Startup House and Managed IT experts pointed out.
So if GPA is becoming, as one source said, a weak signal, what does that mean for students who are strong academically but maybe don't have tons of project experience? How do they adapt?
That's a critical question. For those students, it's about translating that academic strength into demonstrable skills. Employers want evidence of how you apply your knowledge. Can you solve problems? Can you communicate effectively? Can you work in a team?
Right, show, don't just tell.
Exactly. And things like AI-written resumes are only pushing this trend faster. Employers know resumes can be easily polished. So companies like Test Partnership are suggesting replacing resumes with pre-employment tests and video interviews for initial screening. They say it's more evidence-based, more scalable.
View interviews and tests instead of resumes.
Wow. Yeah. And some companies get even more practical. Buzzbeam LLC gives candidates paid tasks, then asks for revisions, specifically to see how well they learn and adapt with minimal guidance.
A paid test task. That's interesting.
Or Feller Went uses gamified challenges to evaluate problem-solving skills dynamically. Makes it more engaging, too, less like a boring application.
Yeah. So the takeaway is GPA alone isn't enough. It's about demonstrating what you can actually do, which means this focus on skills requires employers to rethink the whole candidate experience.
Right.
Make it more engaging.
Absolutely. If they're changing how they find talent, they also need to change how they attract and treat that talent during the hiring process.
Okay, so how are they enhancing that candidate experience? It can't just be a one-way street anymore.
No, definitely not. Companies realize they need to provide an exceptional experience right from the start. One way is by having dedicated recruitment teams, like PS212 mentioned, teams focused only on intern hiring.
So you get more personalized attention.
Yeah, and often a more efficient process. You have a direct contact person.
What about the interviews themselves? Are they changing?
They are. Companies like Supple Digital are pushing for structured interviews, using standard guides with behavioral and situational questions.
Meaning everyone gets asked similar core questions.
Right. It makes it fairer, more consistent, and it gives deeper insights into how candidates actually solve problems, work in teams, adapt to situations. Less subjective gut feeling, more objective comparison.
Communication seems key too, getting clear info up front.
Hugely important. Employers are posting earlier and being clearer about location, remote hybrid options, hours, pay range, that's a big one, and eligibility for international students.
Yeah, knowing the pay range up front saves everyone time.
Totally. And they're trying to simplify the application itself, preferring a quick resume upload and maybe a few targeted questions over making you fill out endless forms, that 45-minute gauntlet nobody likes. It respects the candidate's time.
And they're being more upfront about what the intern will actually learn.
Yes, highlighting it as a worthwhile learning opportunity, not just an extra pair of hands. LockSearch Group, for instance, mentions advertising hands-on experience on projects with six-figure marketing budgets. That grabs attention. It shows real value.
And fair pay is becoming more standard.
It seems to be a growing trend, thankfully. Lindenwood Marketing explicitly stated, if you're doing work, you should be paid. They see it as a core value, allowing them to access a much larger, more diverse pool of talent. It levels the playing field.
That's really good to hear. What about company culture? How do they showcase that?
That's becoming more important too. Showing commitment to diversity, supporting new employees. The page mentioned that leadership should reflect the diversity of new hires. And Rush Order Tees hosts Intern Insight Days. Prospective interns can meet teams, work on mini projects, get a real feel for the culture before they even apply or accept. It helps students see if it's genuinely a good fit for them.
Letting you try before you buy, almost.
Kinda, yeah. And Oxygen Plus even designs programs so interns rotate through different areas. Helps them understand the whole business, how their role fits in. Great for students still figuring things out.
And finally, being clear about what happens after the internship. Full-time offers.
Yeah. More transparency there too. Clearly stating the potential for a full-time offer, like most interns receive a return offer if they meet expectations. Or being honest if it's primarily about learning and networking, not direct conversion. Builds trust.
And they're trying to speed things up. That waiting period can be agonizing.
Huge focus on speed. Our sources mention a weekly hiring cadence, batching screens and interviews to move faster, give quicker feedback, because candidates assume it's a no if they don't hear back within about 5 business days. Speed matters.
Okay, so employers are really stepping up their game, focusing on skills, experience, transparency, speed. Which brings us back to the student. Knowing all this, how do you build your strategy? How do you win in this evolving landscape?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you leverage these insights?
So let's talk blueprints. What does this mean for you, the student, actually trying to land one of these internships? It feels like being proactive and strategic is the name of the game.
Absolutely. If employers are changing their approach, students gotta adapt too. It's about using these insights to stand out. You can't just send out the same old generic application anymore.
Right. So step 1 in this proactive blueprint. Preparation. Polishing your profile, your resume, your online presence. Sounds like it's more critical than ever.
It really is. And the key thing here isn't about making it look perfect, but making it clear and full of proof. Your resume, your LinkedIn, they need to lead with outcomes.
Outcomes meaning?
Meaning what you actually accomplished. What did you build, ship, analyze, or improve? Don't just list duties. Quantify things whenever possible. And this isn't just for paid jobs. Include imperative class projects, stuff you did in campus clubs, volunteer work. The advice is proof beats polish. Show what you've done.
Okay, quantify impact. Like increased club membership by 20% instead of just managed social media.
Exactly like that. And for creative or technical roles, a digital portfolio is almost expected now.
Right, like GitHub for coders or a portfolio site for designers.
Precisely. An easy-to-access collection of your work. Even a simple one-page PDF with screenshots can work. It lets employers see your skills in action. Think of it as your resume coming to life.
And the online presence generally.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, social media.
Crucial. You need a professional LinkedIn profile. Actively network, connect with professors, employers, coaches, relatives, friends of your parents, follow companies you're interested in, be visible. And this is important. Clean up your public social media. HR does. Check. Get rid of anything that can make you look unprofessional or worse. Your digital footprint is part of your application now.
That's such a practical and maybe scary reminder.
Yeah.
What about references? Still important.
Definitely. Earn great references by being reliable, respectful, hardworking, even in jobs like fast food. Recruiters respect hard work, sometimes more than fancy connections. If you have written recommendations, include them. It all adds up.
Okay, so polish the resume with outcomes. Build a portfolio if relevant. Curate your LinkedIn and social media. Get good references. Use those checklists from career services.
Exactly. Those checklists are gold. Once your profile is looking sharp, then it's time to actually put it to work.
Which brings us to the next part of the blueprint, proactive application and networking. This seems to be a recurring theme. You can't just sit back and wait.
No way. You got to be proactive. And what's interesting here is the need for focus first. You don't need your entire life planned out, but have a direction for, say, the next 9 months.
Pick a lane.
Yeah, pick a lane or a theme, like data analytics or maybe customer marketing. Then build a short, targeted list of employers who do that kind of work and are likely to hire interns. When your list is focused, your applications get better, your outreach is more effective, saves you time, increases your chances.
Okay, target list first. Then apply early. Follow up with intent.
Right.
Dripping in gold? That's cool. Dripping in Velveeta's supremely creamy golden cheesiness? That's respect. Elevate your drip with Velveeta's range of outrageously delicious dips and dishes. Shells, cheese, melty blocks, and heat and eat queso that go all in on indulgence. Flex on your fam with a creamy, cheesy masterpiece and go all in on what you love with Velveeta. Respect the drip and satisfy your cravings. Bring home the drip with Velveeta.
For lots of roles, applying early is your single biggest advantage. Get strong applications in for that first wave of postings. Then, and this is key follow-up, send a short, personalized note to a recruiter or maybe an alum at the company. Reference the role, quickly connect it to your experience. Keep it human, the sources say. Just a brief, polite nudge.
Not just firing applications into the void.
Okay.
And use the tools available. Job boards, career services.
Absolutely. Use Handshake, LinkedIn, Indeed, any niche job boards for your field. Set up alerts, bots, as Reddit calls them, for email notifications. Sort by recently posted so you see the newest stuff first.
Be a pest at career services.
Ha! Well, maybe a polite pest. But yes, use them. Schedule appointments, go to workshops, ask them about specific companies or contacts they might have. Don't just go once and give up.
Go where the employers are physically or virtually.
Definitely. Career fairs, info sessions, classroom drop-ins, hackathons, case competitions, relevant club meetings. Show up and focus on quality conversations. 2 good chats are better than 10 awkward badge scans where you don't remember anything. Ask smart questions like, what does a successful intern actually do in their first week here?
Good question. And follow up with thank you notes.
Always. Prompt, personalized thank you notes. Reiterate your interest. It makes a difference.
What about reaching out cold if there's no job posting?
That came up a lot, especially on the CIS Majors Reddit. Literally email small companies. Don't wait for positions to open.
Just cold email them.
Yeah. Find recruiters, maybe engineers or managers in the area you're interested in. Use tools like Apollo to find emails. Some students said they got half their internships this way. It takes guts, but it can work.
Wow. And leverage existing connections too. Family, friends, alumni.
For sure. Ask everyone you know for leads. Ask alumni at companies you're targeting if they'd be willing to refer you, or maybe just pass your name to the hiring manager. A referral can get your resume to the top of the pile.
Okay, so be focused, apply early, follow up, use all the resources, show up, network smartly, even try cold outreach, and leverage connections. It's a multi-pronged attack.
It really is. Resources like the-trackr.com or notify.careers can help automate finding new postings quickly, too.
All right, so you've done the prep, you're applying proactively. Now let's talk about the actual interview. How do you adapt your strategy there?
Yeah, mastering that moment is critical. And adapting your approach based on the timeline or the type of company is key. Interviews are a skill, right? You got to practice.
Practice the basics.
Exactly. Practice the easy stuff now, as one course put it. Work on your answers to those common questions. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about a project you're proud of, a time you solved a problem. Why are you interested in this team? Record yourself. Seriously. It helps you catch when you ramble or use too many filler words. Getting comfortable with those basics makes the actual interview much calmer. September practice makes October interviews calmer.
Good advice. Record yourself. And know your constraints early.
Yeah. Be realistic about your situation. If you're an international student, figure out CPT requirements with your international office early, like in September. Know if you have location restrictions or specific schedule needs because of classes or other commitments. Having that clarity helps you target the right opportunities. Clarity doesn't limit you. It focuses you.
And the interview itself might differ depending on the company, like banks versus boutiques.
Big time. For large investment banks, be ready for rigorous technical questions. Things like DCF, valuation, LBO models, advanced financial concepts. plus tough behavioral questions.
Okay, technical deep dive.
Right. But for smaller boutique firms, especially for off-cycle roles, interviews are often more qualitative. Our sources actually suggest downplaying deep technical skills sometimes and focusing more on being helpful, reliable, eager to learn administrative stuff. It's a different pitch.
Interesting. Adjust your approach based on the audience. What if there's a long wait between applying and interviewing?
Don't just sit there. Build options while you wait. Take on small, new projects. Help a student group, assist a professor, work on a personal micro project. That way, when you do get the interview call weeks later, you have fresh examples and new accomplishments to talk about. Shows you're continually active and learning.
Keep building your story, and persistence seems to be the final piece here.
Absolutely crucial. Keep the rhythm. Don't get discouraged by rejection. See it as information, not a verdict. If you committed to sending 3 applications this week, send 3 next week too. If your resume isn't getting responses, tweak it, especially the top third, and try again. Steady action pays off.
It won't be easy, but persistence is a required skill.
Exactly. And sometimes luck plays a part too. One source mentioned applying in November and getting an interview months later, totally unexpectedly. So keep those applications going because you never know.
Okay, that's a solid blueprint, but
Yeah.
even with the best plan, sometimes things just don't work out right. What happens then? What if you feel like you have missed the boat?
Yeah. That's a tough reality we need to address. We've talked ideal scenarios, strategic plays, but the internship hunt can be discouraging. That feeling of being too late or just not getting traction is real.
So what do you do when you feel like you've done everything, or you genuinely think it's too late?
Well, first thing is to remember that missing one specific opportunity or even a whole recruiting season doesn't mean all opportunities are gone. You've got to think critically, reevaluate, and be ready to pivot. Your career journey has lots of potential starting points, not just this one internship you're aiming for.
Okay, so resist the panic. But that too late feeling is strong, especially seeing friends get offers.
It really is. And it can be paralyzing, as we saw in some of those Reddit discussions. But what's interesting is, while it feels too late, it often isn't entirely accurate. Sure, getting into FANG or a top bank might be harder later in the cycle.
Right, those highly competitive ones fill up fast.
They do. But, as one source noted, many companies are usually behind in recruiting interns. There are always companies that start later or have unexpected needs pop up. We heard anecdotes of students getting interviews in May for internships starting in June. The key is persistent searching, especially checking jobs posted in the last 24 hours. Don't count yourself out just because it's spring.
Okay, so adjust expectations maybe, but keep looking. And maybe look at different types of companies.
Exactly. Target smaller companies. Remember that advice to email small companies. Don't wait for positions to open. That's even more relevant later in the cycle. Smaller firms might still have needs or might be willing to create a spot if you reach out proactively and show how you can help them now. Requires research, but it can work.
And if you're just not getting interviews, keep building skills.
Yes. If you're struggling, use the time to upskill. Work on projects, get certifications, learn new tools, enhance your resume so you're even stronger for the next opportunity. As one Reddit user said, keep applying and upskilling. Make yourself undeniable.
Okay, so persistence, targeting smaller companies, upskilling. But what if the traditional internship path just isn't materializing? Are there other legitimate ways to get experience?
Definitely. Internships are great, a wonderful tool, but our sources are clear. They're not the only way to break into an industry. There are other paths on the map.
Like what? What are the alternatives?
Well, one obvious place is right on campus. Look for research opportunities with professors or part-time jobs within the university. Assisting a professor, working in a department office, these build real skills and provide references. It's valuable experience.
Good point. Use the resources right there.
Also, actively look for actual entry-level jobs, opening-level positions that do not require internships. These provide income, which most internships don't initially, and can still be a great foot in the door, leading to better roles later.
So don't dismiss entry-level roles just because they aren't called internships.
Exactly. Think customer service at a cool tech startup, or admin support at a nonprofit you care about. These are launch pads. Now, some more drastic options came up, but with big caveats. One was delaying graduation, taking fewer classes to give yourself more time to apply and work on projects.
Delay graduation. That sounds risky.
It is. It comes with major financial considerations like more tuition, more student loan debt. It absolutely needs careful thought and a serious talk with a guidance counselor and maybe your family. You need a solid financial plan if you even consider it.
Right. Weigh the costs very carefully. What about grad school?
Similar caution needed. It can be an option, especially if you can get assistantships teaching or research that cover tuition. But again, potentially more debt. It's a big decision, not just a way to postpone job hunting.
Okay, so those are options, but proceed with extreme caution. What about more immediate practical things?
Freelance or gig work can be great, especially in fields like writing, design, coding. Platforms like Upwork or Fiverr let you build a portfolio with real client projects.
Getting paid to build experience.
Exactly. Find a niche, do a few small projects to showcase your skills, and start pitching. It's real-world problem solving for your resume. And finally, don't forget your campus experts. Talk to career services, talk to guidance counselors. They often know about local opportunities or specific programs you won't find online. They can help you assess requirements and explore options tailored to you.
So be resourceful, look beyond the standard internship definition, and use the support systems available.
Precisely. It's about understanding your career journey has many potential starting points, and sometimes you need guidance to see all the paths on your map.
Wow, okay. We have covered a lot of ground today. What a journey. We really dove deep into this whole internship landscape, didn't we?
We really did. Unpacking that rhythmic flow.
Yeah, starting with a critical September rush, the new year on campus, then looking at winter break as that strategic time for prep.
And spring internships as those early career accelerators.
Right. And even navigating the tricky world of off-cycle internships, seeing them as strategic supplements, not just backups.
Mm-hmm. And then shifting to the employer side, seeing how they're innovating, moving beyond resumes to look for skills potential.
Yeah, and understanding why their timing is so strategic, tying back to budgets and planning cycles.
And most importantly, hopefully, outlining that clear blueprint for students.
Exactly. How to prepare your profile, how to be proactive with applications and networking, how to adapt your strategy, and even what to do when it feels like things have gone off track.
The insights from all those sources, career advisors, Reddit, industry guides like Mergers and Inquisitions, College Recruiter, Ripple Match, they all paint a really consistent picture, I think.
Which is?
That success here isn't really about luck. It's about informed strategy, persistent action, and understanding these cycles. Knowing this stuff is the competitive advantage. It helps you plot your course from dorms to desks.
It really does.
Yeah.
You know, that journey from dorms to desks, it really isn't just one single straight road, is it? It's more like this dynamic landscape, all these different entry points, chances to grow at every turn.
Well said.
Remember feeling like you just had a compass and a prayer. We really hope this deep dive today, brought to you by the College Recruiter job search site, has given you a much clearer map, showing you not just the main roads, but maybe some of those hidden paths too. Here's a final thought to leave you with. What if, instead of just stressing about landing an internship, you started viewing every single application, every informational interview you do, every little project you work on, every learning moment? What if you saw all of that as a unique experience that's actually refining your future path, no matter the immediate outcome?
That's a powerful perspective shift.
Yeah. How might embracing that broader view actually open up possibilities you hadn't even considered before? Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep making your own luck out there.
This has been From Dorms to Desks, job hunting tips for those early in their careers. A podcast brought to you by College Recruiter job search site, which believes that every student and recent grad deserves a great career. Each episode, we dive into tips, tricks, and insights that will help you land your next part-time, seasonal, internship, or entry-level job. Subscribe to this podcast for free now, so you don't miss an episode, and visit www.collegerecruiter.com to find your next great job.